Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're here with the Green Skins and Wurrzag the Great Green Prophet, going to be fighting up against the foul Skaven hordes. So I've been neglecting the Green Skins a little bit. Honestly, they're one of my favorite factions, if not my favorite faction thematically. I love all their legendary lords. The lore of them is just hilarious, and they're really the comic relief of Warhammer. Not to mention they're a very strong and fun army to play. Definitely pretty decent in Mortal Empires, and with the patch upcoming, I figured I ought to at least get a few Greenskin games in and show those off to you guys. So we're going to be facing up the Skaven today, and Wurrzag is the best pick in this matchup in my opinion, and we'll go over the reasons why. Number one is, of course, Effigy of the Git. So this is a very strong direct damage pin-in-place ability, a hard snare, as I like to call them. It is only on one target, but it can be very, very useful, especially in pinning down Doom Wheels. That's particularly what I like it for in this matchup. Wurrzag himself also has armor piercing. He has a good selection of spells as well. Fists of Gork gives magic damage, melee attack, and defense, so very good at cutting through Plague Monks, Death Runners, those types of units that have physical resistance. Here we go is basically a castable Wog. And Foot of Gork does a lot of damage to an area of effect and is great at clearing out large, blobs of troops. So with all that together, Wurrzag's very good. He has a few other buffs as well. Gives 11% physical resistance in everyone to that area of effect there. He also has the Squiggly Beast, which gives him more power reserves, and Wurrzag's Revenge, which is a map-wide miscast chance. Very good stuff. In addition, we've also got the Arachnarok Queen. So this big bad lady here is great at stopping Doom Wheels. Again, heavy armor, piercing, weapon strength, and poison. She also has the Spider Summons to be able to summon up Spiderlings to help pin Doom Wheels in place and just keep applying that perpetual poison. For a front line, we've got 4 goblins with triple silver chevrons. So the goblins, if you give them a lot of chevrons, at least right now, are very powerful for their cost. 120 unit models with 34 melee defense makes these guys pretty durable, surprisingly so. They have a decent leadership, not great, but they also have the expendable trait, meaning when they rout, they won't cause your other units leadership penalties. We've also got here in the center the Crimson Killers themselves. Yes, indeed, one of the coolest looking units in the game, in my opinion. These guys are absolute melee monsters. Black Orcs dual wielding these great axes here, and they do a ton of splash damage, which is why I've brought them in this particular matchup. Anti-infantry, and yeah, they can do a ton of damage against large groups of enemy troops. Again, 2 more goblins here. We've also got the Warlord's Boys for that armor sundering, just in case of storm vermin or anything else. Broken Tusk Mob, again, very good against Doom Wheels with the anti-large armor piercing. These guys have better leadership, better armor, as well as encourage compared to normal Orc Boar Biggins. So that leadership buff is nice. We're supporting them with the Goblin Big Boss here. And over on the far side, we do indeed have the Durkit Squigs. These guys are anti-infantry, armor-piercing, going to be great against a Skaven or pretty much any matchup, honestly. The anti-infantry is great. Bonus versus infantry of 10, which is not huge, but it's enough to make a difference. And 19 armor-piercing damage is very good as well. In addition, I've also got the Moon Howlers here, who I'm probably going to forget about for the rest of the battle. So yeah, it'll be a good time. So early on, my opponent charging in his Doom Wheel a little bit prematurely here, just hoping to do some quick cycle charges in and around these goblins here, but he did not, did not properly estimate, searching for the words there, this Arachnarok Queen here, and she's going to be able to do a lot of damage. You can see already about half the Doom Wheel gone, half the HP gone from the Doom Wheel. He's going to be doing some nice, kind of ping-ponging around my lines, doing some good damage. But overall, it's a loss on his part. He's only doing damage to cheap infantry at this point. But we are going to get these Rat Ogres pushing up and around this flank. Another Doom Wheel coming around here. So double Doom Wheel for my opponent. He also has Lord Skrolk. We've got several groups of Night Runners here up the center. His main line is plenty of Clan Rats with spears. And he's also got Plague Monks and a Plague Monk Censer Bearer. So the Censer Bearers will be decent against Black Orcs. Plague Monks will be decent against most Greenskin infantry. Clan Rats are here, I would imagine, just to pad out the numbers a little bit. So let's see how it goes for him. We're just it's continuing to try and pin down this Doom Wheel. You can see it's perpetually taking damage. As it tries to pull away there, it's going to be getting that poison, and although the Arachnarok Queen's not quite as fast, we'll be able to catch up, and even if he charges through these infantry blobs like this, the Arachnarok Queen has the mass to kind of chase through, and will of course be very good at terrifying away the Skaven. Likewise, the Doom Mule is currently terrifying away my Gobos here. My opponent almost got onto me with these Rat Ogres, but we were able to pin him in place with the FG to get, and you're going to be dropping a beautiful Foot of Gork here, just stomping out this huge horde of rats, and man, absolutely brutal, just completely destroyed that unit of Plague Monks and these Clan Rat Spears here, so they're gone, terrified immediately away by the Arachnarok Queen here. And we also do have the Morglib's Mangy Marauders as well, an auto pick in almost any matchup. They're going to be shooting in on this Doom Wheel, who's now currently pinned in by the Broken Tusk mob. Over on this other flank, we've got the Plague Monks pushing up and around still, but we managed to interrupt them with the Gobos and these Spider Hatchlings here. Wurrzag is having to run away a little bit from the Rat Ogres here, but the Wolf Rider Archers are going to be shooting in there. And of course, Rat Ogres don't have a whole lot of armor, still take quite a bit of damage. I saw my opponent was summoning up a Plague here, so we just decided to countercharge into the Rat Ogres, and they have relatively poor defensive stats, of course with the low armor as well. They are going to take quite a bit of damage. Armor Piercing Anti-Large from the Broken Tusk mob will help take them down. I guess the Armor Piercing's not really pertinent, but the Anti-Large will definitely help there. Over on this other side, we've got this other Doom Wheel now in the sights of the Arachnarok Queen here, so definitely in for a rough time. We'll grab some of this cinematic action as they kind of battle it out in here. A big clump of rats here too, just asking to get a nice Foot of Gork. We've got the Sensor Bearers and plenty of other expensive units. You can see this unit of Gobos actually chasing away this Doom Wheel here. The lowly Gobos indeed chasing the Doom Wheel. This unit of Goblins has been able to just screen out all these Night Runners, and my opponent really needs to take these guys off skirmish and just spread them out. If he did, he could just fire in from all angles onto these Gobos here and probably be able to take them out. But as it is, I'm able to screen out all 3 units here with 1 cheap Gobos, so that's great for me. Meanwhile, going to be dropping another just devastating Foot of Gork here. You can see these Plague Monks have dropped their attack order and just going to get stomped by Gork's mighty foot there, doing a ton of damage. Not quite as much on the Sensor Bearers, but just completely destroying the units in the center pocket and allowing this Doom Wheel and the Crimson Killers as well to just get in here and mop things up. So the Arachnarok Queen's definitely a good tool for taking out Doom Wheels. Doom Wheels are very common in this matchup. We do have Skrolk fighting up against, or we did have Wurrzag fighting up against Skrolk here, but the Liber Bubonicus and Skrolk's actually surprisingly good combat stats, meaning he was winning in that fight. Wurrzag also has physical resistance and relatively low armor, so Skrolk with his magic attacks was cutting straight through that physical resistance. I'd imagine Skrolk would actually win in a duel situation, but the Durkit Squigs coming in finally in the late game. I've remembered them here. They're going to be getting in on Lord Skrolk. We pin that Doom Wheel in place with the effigy to get, which is going to deal severe damage and also allow, the Squigs do have armor piercing, so they'll contribute in doing some damage to this Doom Wheel as well. And Skrolk kind of getting circle beaten by the Squig Hoppers here, so rough time for old Skrolky boy, but I'm sure he'll live to fight another day. The Arachnarok Queen's just finishing off what remains of the Skaven infantry here. These clan rats are not going to be able to hold their leadership against the terror of the Arachnarok Queen here. Crimson Killer's still also very healthy as well. You can see the balance of power is pretty heavily in my favor. So all we've got to do now at this point is finish off Skrolk. So we're going to bring the big bad spider over here to deal with him. You can see poor Skrolk there is not too happy about having to face that giant spider. But those clan rats are going to get a rear charge here by the Mangy Marauders, who have used up all their ammo, and despite this clan rat summon here, Skaven leadership is going to give out, and that will be good game. So well played to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that battle. Just a quick replay today. Figured you guys wanted some greenskin action, and that was a nice, fun cinematic battle. So not the most competitive battle per se, although I do agree with most of my opponent's army picks. One thing I would say is you could probably cut down these clan rats to just be Skaven slaves. I'm not a huge fan of the Plague Monk Sensor Bearers personally. I don't think they usually pay off for their price, especially if you have Wither with Lord Skrolk. You can just cut them down and bring Plague Monks instead. I think it's a lot better. That will then allow you to upgrade these Night Runners to Gutter Runners, which have much better stats. They have the slow, just better units all around, a little more utility. I do like the pick of the Rat Ogres and the 2 Doom Wheels. I think Doom Wheels are very good in this matchup. Thankfully, I brought the tools there to deal with it. 138 kills on Wurrzag between those 2 Foot of Gorks. Absolutely devastating. Of course, he was instrumental in helping take down those Doom Wheels as well. The Ragnarok Queen was the real MVPs, though, in that battle with the Doom Wheels. The Broken Tusk mob carrying their weight as well, 73 kills, and again, lots of armor-piercing anti-large, ton of the Doom Wheels, 96 kills on the Crimson Killers. You would expect them to chop through hordes of Skaven in this particular matchup, and I do like them here. As long as they don't take too much damage before getting into melee, they can definitely do a ton of damage. And the Moon Howlers just completely being forgotten there. I had intended them to be kind of a chase down routing units force, but I totally just ended up forgetting about them. So a bit of miss micro there on my part, but it didn't end up costing me the game. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this battle. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.